Babes, guess what?
What, honey?
You see how we spent $112 in Superstore because Costco was closed, so I got to strike off some of the items on my list. But I went into Walmart to get some nuts and it was $60 odd.
Oh, but nuts to get, so.
So you think because it's nuts it's more expensive?
Yeah.
Well, I got unsalted and raw and some different ones. I didn't buy expensive ones, like I didn't buy pistachio. So I spent less than $200. So I don't know if the Costco bill is going to be shaved off.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, you have what else you have to get at Costco?
All the things that the children eat. I tell you, you know, say if you never have them picnic the fish up from when they have money.
Well, you have picnics.
I'm going to get some dates in there because
I will feed them.
I haven't been able to find dates like the ones that are sold in Costco.
Well, if you get their stuff, it can last for like 3 weeks.
If they were conscious. 3 weeks, you know what I decided to do, Andrew? I decided that I'm going to break up their shopping. So you see like how I would buy, if I buy hash brown, then I'm not going to buy like waffles.
Oh, okay, so they don't have
So right, so when the hash browns are done, then I might buy waffles rather than just buy everything in bulk, because when they see all the things in bulk, it's like their mind just go crazy.
Yeah.
And then just eat everything, and we can't afford them. I seriously cannot afford them. You can afford them?
If you afford them, it's just like any other expense.
Well, it's an uncontrollable expense. It's not a fixed.
Well,
Children aren't fixed
We have to
expense.
just turn on their appetite.
So I haven't gone to Costco like maybe in more than a month, or like
Less than that.
less. But I haven't, like, I tried to reduce the frequency, and then you getting up and making stuff for them, I think it helped. So thank you for being a good daddy.
I need pay.
You need pay. No, a duty. We all have to do our duties.
I noticed it doesn't make sense. Just the big shopping. It don't make no sense.
It made sense when they were younger.
Yeah, because it's just waste. It's just waste.
I don't think it's a waste. I think they're independent and they're eating what they want to eat. Sometimes I feel like I have to treat them because they're such good kids.
Taking care of their
In 700
everyday
meters, turn
needs.
right onto Maryland Street.
Clothing and shelter, that's treat.
No, that's not a treat.
Well, it's our responsibility.
It's a,
So they're getting food, clothing, shelter, and go to good school.
so when you think about parenting, you think parents mustn't spend extra money to send the children to school?
Well, it depends if you can afford it.
We can't afford it, but we are sacrifice to send them.
Well, I went to a public school.
I think schooling is important.
I went to a public school. I didn't find any problem with it. I mean,
I don't think it's the same here though.
no, it's different.
Right? I think the curriculum, the things that they're putting in the curriculum, I think for me it's important for them to get Christian education, and it so happens that the Christian education is education. It's not about status or anything like that. It's about the type of
In
education
300 meters, turn right onto
that's
Maryland Street.
important for me, for them to get. But people might think differently about that. Like, oh, they can go to the public school and you can save that money and blah blah blah. But it's not about money.
It's subsidized as well.
I don't even know if it's subsidized. It's expensive.
But I'm saying, like, if the kids were born here, I think the public system would be good for them. But they've never been experienced to a public school.
Exposed.
Yeah, like going to a public school system.
Because me wouldn't send them going on public
Continue
school
on
born here
Current
and
Road
that.
for about 3
Even in
kilometers.
Jamaica, if a man, them a go NCU school, them a go through a system. Christian education system because that's where we live. If we lived in St. Elizabeth, they would go to Santa Cruz Prep. I don't know about you. I just believe that the education and the foundation in early childhood education is extremely important.
I agree, Tommy, but say, what if you can't afford it?
Yes, if you can afford it, you make the best of it. But sometimes I don't think it's about affordability. I think it's about choices
And priority.
and you choose the sacrifice that you want to make.
Well, I know say if my kids that go to public school would have more disposable income. Whole it more.
Well, guess what I think too? It's the sacrifice. You don't have the disposable income now, but I think giving them the foundation, setting them up, making that sacrifice, and then they can be on their own and become independent. And so you're creating that generational difference. So we won't have the disposable income now, but their grandchildren will have lots of disposable income if they decide to follow in the footsteps, right? I believe in investing in generational upbringing and generational wealth. So while I won't have money to give Sadie and Justin later on in life, but you give them that foundation where they'll be set.
Yeah.
Their mindset is a certain way.
Yeah.
Their
dependency levels would be less.
And they have a better start. They have a head start in life. I think those things are important. I don't know about you, but and I think it's important for them to know that it might look like they're getting everything in life, but have the conversation with them about the sacrifices that are being made and teach them that gratitude. What do you think?
Yeah, but I agree with you totally. But sometimes I just think these kids are too privileged and they feel too entitled. I don't know, because I come from the old school. I know, say boy, when I go to school, say one shoes may have, sometimes when I have none. You have one shirt. You probably have 2 khaki pants and 3 shirts. And say one day you have to wash one, because you probably wear maybe one shirt 2 days.
Andrew, you think your children are entitled?
Maybe it's a rasta.
Andrew,
I think so.
me not think so because
I think so they're entitled.
me never have one shoes
You see all my son.
or one
You
uniform.
see all my son now. My son are dressing match now. And then I go tell him, say he now put on a black shoes if he might wear one certain pants. And I say, boy, when me I grow I want boot me have.
That's your lifestyle. So why should he wear a black pants with brown shoes and black belt? You're also training him for tomorrow too, How you present yourself is important. I like that. When Justin said, I don't want to wear that, I don't have a word to say. I'm like, that's right, boy. How you carry yourself is important. That is so right. Anyway, this conversation moved from
Well, I just think I'm entitled. I'm sorry. You grew up a different way than I did. I'm talking about my experience, and it's hard as well, because sometimes I go and grow my kids how I grew up, and you go and grow your kids how you grew up. So sometimes there can be clashes as well.
I don't think so, but I don't think that you must deprive the children because you were deprived.
No, I'm not saying deprived. They're not deprived of anything.
But I also, I think of it both ways. Even if I could afford to give them everything they want, I don't agree that children must get everything they want. Take care of their basic needs, and sometimes you reward them. You give them treats. So like when they do very well in school, you praise them for their efforts, not their brilliance, because I could go in that conversation about the brilliance, but you praise them for their efforts, and you let them know that this is a treat, and if they're to get any wants, you're building them that this is you've earned this. This is not your right, this is a privilege. Because I don't think you must give them everything they want. These kids have never owned any video games.
Yeah, because but they get everything. You don't think they should get everything, but I believe they get everything.
And should they not get everything? They have iPad and then something there?
Worse.
They got cell phones because
They have iPad, they have cell phone, they have computers.
Andrew.
Like in my day now,
Andrew.
even if me did forget a computer when me did younger, I one computer that I share for me and my siblings.
Andrew?
Them have one for themselves.
You are being unfair. Let's talk about the cell phone. The children get cell phone because they were going to take public transportation.
And they not took it.
But we never took it away from them. And they got computer, they got laptop, because they're in different classes and the school put it on their book list. If you never depend on book list, they never ever get no laptop for go ramp and no cell phone for go play. Go read a book. So me think you're unfair, and you're thinking you think say something bad you do. It's bad if you don't set up some guidelines and some boundaries around these things. And sometimes we fail. Sometimes we fail, because it's just easier for me than just they buy themselves or whatever. But I don't think the kids get everything that they want.
They don't get everything what they want. If they ask for something, no, they might get it.
They ask
within reason.
They asked McDonald's yesterday. They get no McDonald's. Alright.
Maybe because with the lazy to go up on the road.
No, because nobody can afford no McDonald's and they get dinner. So go to your bed. Drink some water.
Oh boy. Well, it's up for debate. What do you folks
Andrew,
think?
I don't think they get everything that they want. The first time we bought expensive sneakers where other children were wearing for them was last year when I was sick. And it's because I was like, if me I go dead, them are going to have one nice memory.
Oh, babe. So, okay, so now I want different. You want my different kind of worm, you know.
But this year, we back to school when September comes, they can't come ask, for threads or whatever the word is. Because they not get it. Because they can't afford it.
Keep left onto River Avenue.
Babes, I'm serious. The only reason they got those, what they name, Nike Air?
Yes, but whether threads are what them get them new shoes every year. What are you saying? Justin growth shoes every three months.
and who buy Justin the expensive name brand sneakers?
Yeah, yes, but
who
name brand?
And answer me.
No.
When Justin come, I run him and we ain't go.
No, baby, that's different because
where does he go?
Now he come to him father because if he playing game, he can't wear one boot that is not for basketball to play basketball. That's different.
Okay, see who is justifying it? Me say, come go down and Walmart, make me buy you some sneakers. No, him and his father go online, and then Andrew complain and said these children get everything that they want.
I'm not complaining, honey, but I'm just saying.
But he deserves the shoe. I'm not going to take away. If he loves basketball, then he deserves proper basketball shoes, because in the end, he deserves the expensive basketball shoe because he's playing that game, and if he doesn't have proper gears, it will hurt his feet. That's why I leave it alone, So right now I'm laughing and saying you are buying him the expensive thing, but sometimes the expense is because of the quality. So I believe in investing in quality things. The other thing is that when they grow though, you give them away to another needy person, right? To a needy person, because his feet were growing so fast, right? So when you invest in that, that's something to give to somebody else. If the young people would want a second hand
But
shoe.
even that, I'm trying to teach my son some business,
Entrepreneurship.
I mean, I said, Justin, you can sell back your boot them, And he said, oh yes. Because really when you wear them, they're not really they're not worn out. They're not worn out, you know.
Yeah, they know.
They're they're a brand new second hand when he finish with them, and then
he really cares for his
and
stuff.
then he just throw them down, and then he might forget one new
There's,
one again.
You know, throw it down. You know, they are in boxes, and I when we were moving, I packed them in a special box, and they're still sitting there, and I'm not going to take that up on my head. Is his father and he who are to sell those shoes. But
I sell for me 10.
Yeah, there's not. Let us not go into the selling argument how we can't even keep one car.
No, we're not talking about that. That's different. So.
That's a different story for another day.
Really and truly, I just think these kids are privileged.
Yes, because
I'm not gonna apologize
and
for that.
I don't think anything is wrong with them being privileged. Privilege don't necessarily mean spoiled. Children's needs must be met, and they must grow up not being embarrassed. You know? They need something and they don't have it. It's embarrassing. And they can't participate in this or that and hone their talents and their gifts because their parents either can't afford it or not make the sacrifice for them. I believe in supporting the children, providing for their needs and treating them with some wants when they follow rules and when they do well. When they put out the effort and do well, I think those things must be rewarded. And then you have reinforcement of actions and praising effort bring rewards.
I just believe that the kids they don't learn independence when they
Babes, really?
when all their needs are met. Because Justin did not go work this a year.
Yeah, babes, but Justin don't not want to work. Justin is asking to work. And I don't like your argument.
He did not go work this year, so he really know what money is. You know?
I think Justin know what money is. But what bun me is that these picnics, these children, they have talents and they refuse. Like Justin wrote a book when he was 10. And all I said to Justin, market your book. Don't come ask me for no allowance. Market your book and get your book sold, and then you can invest your money how you want to invest it. It will be your money. So you know what? I'm in no rush to give them any allowance. Say they have book that she write, that she hide and write because she doesn't want me to publicize her thing and to publish her book. That's what I want to instill in them, the principles of entrepreneurship. You understand, babes? That me want them to have that hunger and that drive. Like Justin was 10 when he wrote his book, and I think maybe Sadie has been writing from that time, but I feel like because I'm that kind of driven person, I might have pushed too hard, too early, so they get, I don't know, she hide. But I know she have book in there. This weekend she was talking about her favorite subject is not necessarily her favorite class. And she said, so I said, maybe you should ask for extra work. And she said, no, she doesn't want to ask for the extra work because the extra work means that she's going to have to publish an entire book. The project would be to publish an entire book. So I said to her, because I know she in her room writing every day, I said to her, I know you have a book already. Why don't you just give that to the teacher and you can work on it? She said, the book that she writes is not for school. So then I said, well, Sadie, maybe you should think about that, because that's how you can earn your pocket money and how you can get on the market as an author. These kids have talents. And you know, Andrew, every time I think about that, I think about when I was growing up. I was very creative and artistic, writing poems and making cards. And if my parents had just seen that and put me in that direction, I would be way ahead. So, you know, I don't want to over push them, but I also don't want them to waste their talents. They should monetize these talents. Like gifts, you get your gifts for a reason, and you must use them.
Yeah.
And if you start when you're 12, you know, by the time you're 22, you're an expert. And you can retire early and go do all of the things then where you love to do.
700 meters.
That's
make
what
a
I
U-turn
want for
if
myself.
possible.
But I digress. Yeah. I know that you're looking for the place, so
Well,
I don't want to keep chatting
we'll
you
see.
up.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
They're growing. They're getting older.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.